Alexis Sanchez's career hits a new low. Batshuayi hopes to return to Stamford Bridge. Ramsey could be Real Madrid's next Welshman, and which three clubs all failed in a bid to sign Cristiano Ronaldo this summer. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host Matt Froelich. You are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, we have Alexis Sanchez. Now, it's impossible to talk about any football news these days with the names of Jose Mourinho, Paul Pogba and Manchester United cropping up. So instead, we're going for something vastly different by choosing Pogba's teammate Alexis Sanchez. Basically, there are two sides to this story. Alexis Sanchez has been told that he won't return into the first team until his performances improve, but he's also said he doesn't want to play under current manager Jose Mourinho. This is because Sanchez hasn't even been playing. He either hasn't been in the squad, has come off the bench, or when he has started, has been withdrawn from the game pretty early. It seems he, much like Paul Pogba, is completely fed up of playing under Jose Mourinho. However, this is all his fault. When Sanchez moved to United back in January, he only really went because they were the only ones to offer him enough money. Apparently, he's on around £500,000 a week. This is the kind of money that Manchester City wouldn't pay, but also because they saw him as a complete dick that he actually is. And to be honest, Guardiola, you completely dodged a bullet there. As for Alexis Sanchez, well, everything fantastic that he did at Barcelona and Arsenal has completely been forgotten, to be honest. He's now seen as a mercenary, an old player, even though he's just 29, who's just sitting collecting his money and can't really be asked to play football. To be honest, with an attitude like that, good riddance to him, and I'm not even a United fan. But moving away from someone who doesn't want to play for their team to someone who does, however, it's not his current team. Asked whether or not he'd move to Valencia permanently next summer, Batshuayi said he had his heart set on a return to Stamford Bridge to win a first-team place at Chelsea. The forward was told that he wasn't in new manager Maurizio Sarri's plans at Chelsea, so that's the reason for his move to Valencia. But he was also on loan last season for the second half of the campaign in a fruitful spell which saw him score 9 goals in 14 appearances for Borussia Dortmund. Despite having a few seasons at Chelsea where he didn't really play after his signing from Marseille, he is still only 24 years old and has said that the recent loan spells have done him a world of good, and that if he comes back next summer a better player, he fully expects to be challenging for a first-team spot alongside the likes of Morata and Giroud. To be honest, I don't see much difficulty in him getting into the team, certainly ahead of Morata. Giroud's another question altogether, but they're differing style of play. And staying in London, we could have one of the craziest transfers at the end of this season when a free transfer could be looming for Ramsey. At the end of last season, a deal was on the table for a new contract when he wanted something ludicrous like $300k a week. However, that's now been withdrawn, and rightly so I think, so he could be leaving on a free. But can you imagine leaving Arsenal on a free transfer and then moving to Real Madrid? Well, that's what his Welsh teammate Gareth Bale wants to happen. However, I'm not quite sure it could happen. In my opinion, Ramsey is a decent midfielder, and if he hadn't been at Arsenal this long, there wouldn't be the whole loyalty, knows the place, been around for a while kind of stigma surrounding him, and he probably wouldn't be offered such a huge deal in the first place. As for a replacement, well, Unai Emery is apparently lined up Napoli and Polish star Piotr Zielinski to replace him. The midfielder has been scouted by Jurgen Klopp and Mauricio Pochettino in the past and does look like a decent prospect, certainly better than what Ramsey can offer. For those of you who are going to come at me and say Ramsey's a decent player, yes, he probably is a decent player. However, over all those years at Arsenal and maybe the odd FA Cup winning goal, he hasn't really done that much. He never had the talent the likes of Jack Wilshere had, and he certainly won't live up to the billing of a proper international star. And talking of international stars, we come to Cristiano Ronaldo. But before his move to Juventus happened this summer, there were 3 other teams who had an offer on the table for him. But for one reason or another, it just didn't really materialise. First up, there was AC Milan, who offered an incredible €150 million, 50 million more than Juventus offered. However, looking at AC Milan's recent ordeal in Serie A and seeing that they're not really close to playing Champions League football anytime soon, Ronaldo really rejected that one. Next up was a return to Manchester United. He spent 6 incredible years winning absolutely everything at Old Trafford under Sir Alex Ferguson. However, United reportedly weren't willing to part with around €100 million to sign Ronaldo, which angered Jose Mourinho. I can imagine there's a lot of things that do that nowadays, but that's a pretty even one to be annoyed at. The third and final club to express an interest in signing Ronaldo were PSG, where money is no barrier for them. However, though, there was one stipulation to them signing Ronaldo from Real Madrid. It was that they'd only want to do it on the last day of the transfer window, just so that Real Madrid wouldn't come back and buy Mbappe or Neymar to replace CR7. This to me seems rather strange, because that's the secret that you don't want the opposition to know. However, you're dealing with them. Can you imagine PSG and Real Madrid directors sitting in a room and PSG's directors say, hey, don't tell Real Madrid, but we want to sign them on the last day because we don't want them signing Mbappe or Neymar. And then Real Madrid directors turning around and going, "We are Real Madrid, you've just told us your plans." It seems a bit bizarre, to be honest, and probably the reason that he never ended up at PSG. It was also one of them long-winded promises that may or may not come off, so Ronaldo wasn't going to take that. As for staying at Real Madrid, well, they didn't want to make him the highest paid player in the world, so he went to his agent Jorge Mendes and said, "Find someone who will." He'd always admired Juventus, and when they clapped his fantastic overhead kick last season, he had one place in his heart that he wanted to play football next. And at this stage in his career, it was Juventus. The rest is history. With that said, after an apparently poor start, his record now stands at 8 games, 5 assists and 3 goals, which on any normal level isn't that bad, but for Ronaldo, we all know he can do better, and you can expect to see it, just once he's returned from that Champions League ban. So with that said, I'm going to leave a poll in the top hand corner, and I want you to let me know how many goals you think Ronaldo will score this season. Will it be below 20, will it be 20 to 40, or will he have another one of his record-breaking years and score over 40 goals? Make sure to vote on that, smash the like button down below, and let me know in the comment section what you thought on all of today's daily news. Once you've done that, you can also click here, as always, to check out all the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. That's all from me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.